What is up, y'all? It is the real Black Diamond, also known as Diamond Rost, okay? Thank you guys for clicking on this video. So appreciative. Of course, this video is about emotional intelligence, how to learn how to master your emotions, y'all. This is real stuff. If you never, came to my channel before, you should know that I definitely talk about things that are just on my heart. Topics that are of the heart, okay? Higher consciousness, higher self-awareness. I get kind of vulnerable on this channel, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Probably a lot of bit. Just some of the viewers are like, okay, that's probably a little too much information. But I keep it real. What can I say? I'm the real Black Diamond. What do you want from me? But yeah, let's hop straight into it. So the reason why I wanted to touch on this topic about emotional intelligence and how to master your emotions is because, y'all, I don't talk about anything that I don't go through. Anything that I haven't gone through, haven't had the experience, haven't learned about on my own, haven't researched, haven't looked into. Definitely do your own research on this topic. I'm not a doctor or, don't have any specific credentials to talk about this, but I'm just a human who has the human experience and knows that having emotional intelligence is key to thriving, okay? Because if you let your emotions overpower, what you do, how you think, how you feel, how you move, you can be moving the wrong way, okay? And it can be a hindrance to your success. It can be a hindrance to you moving forward in your life. It can be a hindrance to you staying focused on what it is that you're trying to do in your life currently. So for me, mastering emotions has been something that I've been practicing for the past couple of years. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I still have my moments of weakness, and I think it's okay to know that if you have a wave of strong emotions that come over you, you're allowed to feel those emotions. You're allowed to feel those emotions. So y'all, as I learn to train my brain, I want to share my findings, my things that have really helped me to stay focused and to stay on track with maintaining and managing my emotions. Yes, I said managing, just like how you manage your finances, you manage your relationships, you manage your career, your employees, whatever. You manage your brain. You are the manager. You're in control, because we all know your brain can go left, right, up, down, analyze, overanalyze, underanalyze things. And in reality, we don't need to go all these different directions. We can actually focus on a direction and allow ourselves to be trained enough to not react, but to respond. And there's a difference. How can you put yourselves in situations where you can control your emotions, whether that be you removing someone from your life, just deciding to create boundaries. I mean, sometimes you need to do that so that way, when you're with this particular person, you don't act like yourself. You don't act, you're not happy. You just have to go based on that. So there's a scale. I'm not going to get into the scale of it all, but I do want to help you all to be more mindful, manage your thoughts, manage your brain, and manage your emotions ultimately. Because it'll set you forth in a really positive way and really help you to focus on your goals, your dreams, and will allow for you to get towards your greater purpose way quicker when you're able to manage your emotions and deal with them as they come, not ignore them, but deal with them as they come. So the first thing is definitely practice your self-awareness, okay? Period. And that can come in different shapes and forms. Now, whether that be you internally asking yourself questions and trying to understand yourself better, I think is so helpful with mastering emotions. When you think about, if you feel yourself getting angry, if you feel yourself getting sad, or you feel yourself being triggered by something, ask yourself, why do I feel like that? You know what I mean? Why are my emotions kind of taking over right now? And Is it because of something that happened when I was younger? Kind of have your own therapy session if needed. You know what I'm saying? Or go to therapy, y'all. I can't be a huge advocate on therapy because I've never gone to therapy myself. I've always been my own therapist, and sometimes my mama is my therapist, and I'll be honest about that. But in reality, like, definitely think about therapy, and if not, be your own therapist. Write things down. You know what I'm saying? Write down how you feel. Transpire that feeling onto paper. Okay? Release in any other way aside from taking it out on other people, or internalizing it and taking it out on yourself, or feeling guilty, or any sort of feeling that makes you kind of release. Okay, now for me, I ask myself questions. I try to understand why it is that I feel that way, and if it comes from a hateful place, if it comes from a place that I know shouldn't be there, or isn't going to help me to succeed in my future, isn't going to help me, because we're all human, y'all. Like, there are some times where I get on Instagram, and this is why I took a break from Instagram, getting on Instagram and just seeing happy couples. Okay, as much as I would feel happy seeing those couples, genuinely, because I am, and I genuinely love to see Black love, I love to see people who are happy in relationships, that's something that I desire. So in me, it was like seeing a lot of that, and being online and seeing even some of the toxic stuff really made me have a feeling of jealousy, and just like it brought up heartbreak in my past and things that I hadn't really fully dealt with. And we are still healing every single day, and your healing process and your healing length is on you, and it's on no one else. You can be healing from something that you experienced when you were 6, okay, and you're 45, okay? So it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you have that self-awareness, as long as you understand that you have a trigger, what your triggers are. That's key too. Knowing what your triggers are, so when those things happen, you're prepared, what you need to do, whether that means you exit the situation, you end the conversation, you change the subject, whatever triggers you, you're able to have the self-awareness. Okay, that is a trigger of mine. What do I do when I have a trigger? How do I release? How do I understand myself better, so that way those things aren't triggers for me anymore? Another way of practicing emotional intelligence is to empathize with others, okay? Empathize with others, because, and this is a big thing for me, like, I'm a super empath, and sometimes I think maybe too much, because sometimes I'll put other people's feelings before my own, or I'll try to be like, well, he's only doing that, or she's only doing that because blah, 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 blah. Maybe I know some history on them, and I'm like, well, because they've been abandoned in their, in their previous life, this is why this happened, but in reality, like, we can't control what other people do. We don't know why people do the things that they do, really. I mean, they could tell you maybe if they had a straightforward answer, but sometimes people don't even know why they do half the things they do, and it could be them internalizing emotions and them bottling things up until they're pushed to the edge, So definitely don't bottle things up, but also be very thoughtful about, the fact that other people are not perfect. People are going to let you down, period. They might be going through things, and a lot of times when people take things out on you, it's not because it's you. It's because it's something that they're dealing with, and they don't know how to deal with it. They're not emotionally intelligent enough, So when you have that mindfulness and that knowing that, you can't control other people, you can only control yourself and your own happiness, then that's key. And also understanding that other people are dealing with things, other people are going through things, and we don't know what exactly those things are, but we do need to be mindful, because we are all humans just trying to live out this human experience. And everybody has their own different experiences that make them who they are. So just control what you can control, which is you. Another one that I want to bring up for emotional intelligence, mastering emotions, is this is super key, and I say it because it's super key for me at least. And this is something that I've heard about, but also learned a lot about through the law of attraction. And Neville Goddard, he talks a lot about the law of attraction. So if you're interested, you can go and read into his things. But law of attraction has a lot to do with attaching and then detaching, letting it go. Okay. And a part of that for me is, and this comes and ties into the emotional intelligence of it all, is that when you love people, okay, the biggest thing that I think that everybody could take away from is that you have to love people without any expectations of them loving you back. Okay? Let go of the expectations of receiving and just give without any expectation to receive. And that to me has helped a lot, because it allows for you to, yes, have standards, have expectations on what you want for your life. Okay, but you can't have expectations on other people necessarily, and not unless you're in a marriage or you've got some sort of like really great relationship. But even in a great relationship, people let each other down, so you have to be full of grace, and you have to be full of just forgiveness, and overall not allowing other people's actions to influence how you feel about yourself, most definitely, but also just how you feel in general. Because I know that's hard to say, because we have family and friends and people in our lives that they're going to influence how we feel, obviously, but you have to be able to control and manage your happiness alone. Okay? I say alone. That is key. Because once you start relying on other people to be your happiness, even if y'all been together forever, okay? Whatever. No matter how great and the relationship is, if you're not happy by yourself, if you're not happy with yourself, then those relationships are destined to end in a negative way, because you're not happy with yourself, and that will spill into the relationship. And everyone has to be happy with themselves at the end of the day. Like, you live with you wake up with you every single day. No one else wakes up with you every single day. Not everybody is always with you 100% of the time. You're the only person that is with you 100% of the time, and you live in your head. Okay, we all live in our head and overthink, and so we have to be in control of how we're feeling regardless of what's going on around us, because this is life, you guys. Like, we're all just trying to be good at this thing called life. We're all trying to manage this life, and in order to do that, you have to start with self. So that's super key. And learning to love people without expecting them to love you back. And that's hard. I'm saying this and it's hard, but it's so true. Because that's not what love is anyways. Thinking that just because I love you, you gotta love me back. No one's entitled to do anything for you. No one's entitled to love you. It's a choice. We're all choosing to be in our lives. Like, not unless you're, of underage and you're just stuck with your family. You just gotta, you know what I mean? Like, no one, you really don't have too much control. But in reality, like, we all choose who we want to be around, family or friends or whatever. So be, the choice that other people make, because you are radiating happiness. You are radiating positivity. You are loved, and you act loved. You act worthy because you are worthy. And nobody can take that from you. And at the end of the day, are you good with you? It's not about if somebody else is good with you. Are you good with you? Because if you're not, then you need to fix that first. Because you cannot have strong, positive relationships with other people when you don't even have a full-blown relationship with yourself, and you're not able to manage your emotions. You let somebody else outside of you control your emotions. You let somebody else who is not thinking about your emotions control your emotions. Okay? That's as simple as I could put it. But it's important to know how to love without expecting love back. The last thing I'm going to say for this video, I might make a part 2 just based on some of the feedback that I get from this video. So if you guys agree with me, comment below on some of the things that I said. If you have something to share about emotional intelligence, I'd be super excited to read about it. But the last thing I'm going to say for this video is that motivation is super key. Being self-motivated, okay, is going to help you to master emotional intelligence. And the reason that plays a key, along with the self-awareness, loving others without expectations of them loving you back, and then just being able to control your emotions, responding versus reacting, those are all, great steps and key things to keep in mind. What else did we mention? We mentioned being able to empathize with others, okay? So having empathy, learning empathy, knowing that other people have their own experiences. But the motivation key is super big, because when you're motivated, when you're self-motivated, that ties back to your purpose. You knowing your purpose. You also knowing where you're headed, where your focus is, okay? You knowing who you are goes into even self-identity, because if you're motivated, then you're aspiring to be a better version of yourself. You're motivated to grow, to learn, to enhance your life, to elevate, to level up. So if those are the things that you're motivated to do, and you're motivated to keep moving and keep pushing yourself, then you'll understand that everyone else has their own experience as well. And you'll be mindful and respectful of other people's journeys and other people's experiences. And being motivated helps you to stay positive, helps you to stay focused, helps you to be positive towards other people, and also keeps you on track. Okay, now I would always, I don't have any kids, but I would always hear people at work who would, those people who would do so well at their job, and a lot of them would just go back to the fact that my kids motivate me. They had something that motivated them. And whether it's your own self that motivates yourself, that's good too, because, I motivate me all the time. I constantly have to motivate myself because there's no one else that motivates me. I don't have kids. I don't have, a relationship to motivate me. Even having outside things to rely on to motivate yourself is I'm kind of on the fence about that anyways, because I feel like everything starts with you and oneself in the center, and how you feel internally and your inner power. I believe everyone has their own inner power. They do. And if it's our job to get closer to the inner power, to connect with that inner power, and that's where motivation falls in that bucket of being self-reliant, being determined, having a drive, having a focus, or having a purpose to go towards. And that's what this life is about, living in purpose. Okay, so stay motivated, keep your brain in check. Don't let outside forces or outside people determine your journey, your path, your destiny, because you are in charge of that. You are in charge of your destiny. You are in charge of your journey. It is your job to love that journey that you're on, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And not letting rejection break you down, not letting someone not loving you back break you down and make you lose motivation, not letting somebody else's emotions rub off on you so that it makes you act out of character. You know, being motivated keeps you grounded, keeps you centered, keeps you striving towards your better self, which is that inner power that I'm talking about before. Everyone's got an inner power. And a lot of that stems from belief in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you may not think you have an inner power. You may not believe that there is an inner power within you. But there is. Everyone has it. And God created us with this inner strength, this inner power. Okay? So get closer to knowing what that is. Stay rooted. Do not let anyone else sway you off of your path. Do not let distractions move you in a direction that you don't need to be moving in. Okay? Love yourself at the end of the day. Like, loving yourself and not having expectations for other people is going to save you a lot of grief, a lot of disappointment. Okay? And it's tough because we love people and we do weigh so much on other people. We want to be loved so much by other people. We want other people's validation, okay? But it's not about that. It's about knowing who you are, staying motivated, understanding other people, but also staying rooted in who you are. Learning to manage your intelligence, your brain, manage your thoughts. One thing for me, you know, I'll kind of leave you guys on this, is one thing for me is like, when I think about thoughts, and excuse me, I don't know where I heard this from. I think it was a podcast or something, but I was talking about thoughts, and this stuck with me. Thinking about thoughts, negativity, and positivity, okay? When you have a negative thought or a negative memory or some sort of self-doubt or anything negative that just flows through your brain, you want to think of your brain as a highway, okay? Allow these thoughts to pass through. The thoughts are going to come, okay? We all know, like, we can't control our thoughts sometimes. But this is where we get that emotional intelligence, when you start to manage your thoughts, manage your emotions. But we're going to learn this, right? So your mind is a highway. Thoughts are going through, negative, positive. What do I got to do today? My to-do list. What do I want to do? Like, what do I feel like doing? You know, just all the different thoughts that come through your brain. Now, negative thought comes in. Decide to let yourself think on that thought, but don't give it any more than 30 seconds. If that, I say 15 even, 15 seconds tops, then let that thought just drive on through and let it go. Next thought. And choose to, okay, after I've had a negative thought, kill that negative thought with 10 positive thoughts. Okay? This is how you're going to train your brain. 1 negative thought, 10 positive. Okay? We're letting that negative thought drive through, and now it's gone. It's on its way to its next destination, which is not your brain. There's no space for that. Next thought. Okay, something positive. How do I flip that? How do I make it positive? There's so many ways to flip things to make it positive. I work in marketing, so I know exactly how to do that. Where something looks negative, I'm like, well, if you want to look at the positive side of it, you know, there's always a positive way, you know, thought that you can bring into your brain after a negative one. It's just how you decide to do so and what you think about. So if you have trouble thinking of positive thoughts, write down what you are grateful for. Write down what you're grateful for. That is super key for law of attraction as well. Always be grateful, no matter what your circumstances. So you have a negative thought, go to your list of things that you're grateful for, or make a new list every day. Just get in the habit of writing every day, making a list of 10 things you're grateful for every day. I guarantee you, you're going to have less and less negative thoughts coming in. So that's really all I got for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the love, the support, the everything. I'm definitely going to be more consistent this year. 2022, you guys, content is coming. And I'm not just talking. Because I know in the past, you know what I'm saying, I'd be talking. This is what I love to do, you guys. And so I hope you guys enjoy my content. And if you do, of course, always content from the heart. So it's going to be that moving forward. Love you guys so much. Alrighty. Have a good day, night, whatever. Bye.